What's up, guys? It is your boy FastLaneD, and today we got my Yamaha R1 out. Look at her with her fine ass. God damn, boy. Sheesh. And y'all already know what time of the day it is, baby. The cold start. Yeah. Let's go. Woo-hoo. Are y'all ready for it? Y'all ready for it? I don't know if y'all are ready for it. All right, let's go. Oh, the lithium ion battery starts it up perfectly. Oh my goodness, listen to that cross plane motor, baby. Oh, that is a symphony right there. That sounds so good, even at idle. You cannot say that does not look sexy. And guys, I've got some awesome mods coming for this bike. Y'all thought this was it? Y'all thought this was the final edition of Storm? We got Storm 2.0 in the works. I am so pumped. Just listen to it. Oh my goodness. Talk to me, Storm. Let me hit, girl. All right, enough playing around, baby. Let's ride. So you think you're ready for a 1000 cc motorcycle, huh? Are you ready for the power? Are you ready for this? Are you? Are you ready for this? Oh my goodness, that is so addicting. Good Lord. Wait for the popcorn. Oh, this R1. Today we're going to talk about 5 things I wish I knew before I upgraded to 1000 / 5 things I would tell a friend they need to make sure they know and understand before they upgrade to a 1000 cc motorcycle. Cause I got you guys, baby. I got ya. Number 1 is that there needs to be a mental shift. AKA, some people just need to grow up. Like, you need to understand that this thing will kill you. And you gotta have respect for it. Now, I'm not saying the 600 will not kill you, but this bike will do it that much quicker. This is not a forgiving bike at all. Like, you need to know what you're doing before you step up to a bike like this. Because this has got so much power that it'll get you in a hairy situation very quickly. And you need to understand how to get out of those types of situations. Now, I'm not saying that should scare you away. You just need to understand that before you hop on a bike like this from a 600. You gotta respect this bike. That's the biggest thing. Oh, no love from the Harley riders, see? That's what I'm talking about, my Harley dudes. No love. It's all good though, I still love y'all. Number 2 is you need to be comfortable maneuvering this thing. You just riding in a straight line down the freeway with your buddies and you getting bored of the power 600 is not enough for you to upgrade to 1000. You need to understand how this bike maneuvers, emergency braking, throttle control, like all that stuff. Anyone can just pin the throttle on a bike and go fast. Like, that takes literally 0 skill. And you're not impressing anyone. Don't do it. this thing. That just does not get on. But yeah, that doesn't impress anyone. Like, anyone can do that. That takes zero skill to twist the throttle and change gears, okay? You need to have twisty experience and be comfortable and feel like you're at one with your bike when you're on those twisties. If you're not comfortable hitting twisty roads on a 600, you probably shouldn't get a 1000. Like, you need a little bit more practice. And when people say they've been riding for 3 years, that doesn't mean much to me at all, or 10 years or 20 years or anything. It's more so about how much you rode. I had a buddy in undergrad that he's the one that really motivated me to get a bike. He was the first friend that I knew that had a motorcycle, but he barely rode the thing because he was scared of it. And when I got my bike, I commuted on it. There was a point in time where it was my only mode of transportation for a little over a year. And so I got real comfortable on my 600. Rain, shine, snow, whatever it was. I was on the bike. Oh, look at this gorgeous countryside. Ugh. So beautiful, so beautiful. So I always say I think mileage is a better indicator of experience. How many miles have you ridden on your bike? How much seat time have you had on your bike? Versus I've had a motorcycle for 4 years. Like that literally means nothing to me experience-wise. Because you're gonna have the people that are on one extreme of riding where they barely ride the bike. They only ride it if it's 70 degrees with a perfect humidity, 0 clouds in the sky, no traffic. It's like absolutely ridiculous. They barely get their bike out. Then you have the other people that are ride or die. Like, no matter what, they're out on the bike. It's just like playing any sport. The more you go out there and shoot a free throw, the better you're gonna get at it. Now, number 2 is you gotta be comfortable with that front wheel coming up. Because on this bike, it's gonna come up, and it comes up quick, and you gotta be ready for it. Whether you're doing some sort of hard acceleration, or you change gears and it just happens to click at the perfect spot, and that front wheel pops up, you can't let that scare you. Like, you have to be comfortable with that front wheel wanting to hover and wobble a little bit, because it's going to. She gonna shake it a little bit, you know what I'm saying? She gonna twerk that thing. But you know, I ain't never mad at you for that. I always fully support all that. You know what I'm saying? Now, I'm not gonna condone you going out and practicing wheelies, but I mean, however that looks for you to get comfortable with that front wheel coming up. Like, if you're going full throttle over a hill and that front wheel pops up, you gotta understand how to control the bike in those scenarios. Now, on the topic of maneuverability, 1000s tend to be a little bit heavier than 600s. And once you get the bike going, you really don't feel it, to be honest. But when you're throwing the bike around, you can feel that weight just a little bit more than you would on a 600. So like I said, you just gotta be comfortable throwing this bike around. Lots of dirt and gravel. Perfect place for the motorcycle to go. No bueno. Damn, Zaddy. SS Camaro. Ooh, for my old school folks, look at this thing. 350. Wow, that is freaking sweet. Holy cow. The fact that that thing still looks good today is nuts. Gotta get them angles. I'm feeling a little cinematic here right now. Let's get some shots of the R1 real quick. Man, she looking good. And we're back, baby. Hopefully that came out well. Future deal, if you did well, good job, bro. If not, step it up. Now let's listen to this cold start. Oh, starts right up with that lithium battery. God, that just doesn't get on. So the fourth thing you need to know about owning a 1000cc motorcycle is that everything is going to be more expensive on this bike than what you're used to. And what I mean by that is maintenance-wise, insurance-wise, and gas-wise. So things like tires. I mean, tires on a 1000cc bike, they're a little bit bigger, so they're going to be more expensive. Parts tend to be a little bit more expensive. You're operating the premium bike of most producers. Don't do it. Oh my goodness. Come on. Gas mileage isn't the greatest. Like, if we check out what an average on this bike, let's see if we get a wave. Oh, he gave me a wave. Can we get 2? Oh, we got 2. Oh my goodness. All right, Harley, y'all redeem yourself. If we look at the average here, I get 25 miles per gallon average. And I don't ride this bike gingerly at all. That's not what it's made for. You don't buy a 1000cc bike for the gas mileage. But just a heads up, just like you don't buy a Lamborghini and then complain about the gas mileage, you know? You're just like an idiot. It's just part of it. I love those stickers. Man, everyone's got the toys out today. RC350 all-wheel drive F Sport. Okay. Doesn't sound bad. Also, insurance is gonna be more expensive. Like, everything just goes up. And you need to make sure you budget for that, because motorcycle ownership is just gonna get that much more expensive, which I think is worth it in my opinion. 1000cc bike, whoo, there's nothing like it. What's going on, man? I need some more room. I love it, man. They always want the wheelie. Hey, no one's gonna let my mans go? Y'all gonna let my mans go? I got you, baby. Come on over. I got you. Look at that. And the last thing's gonna be the tech. The tech on these bikes is super, it's awesome. It's cool to see manufacturers pushing the limit and getting more technologically advanced than on previous bikes. For me, I just like the raw power. Just give me the bike with the ridiculous power and let me figure out how to handle it. But I get why they do it. And if you're a tech person, you're definitely gonna love the tech on these bikes, because they tend to just put them on the 1000cc bikes. Now they are starting to trickle them down to some of the 600s, but some of those 600cc bikes literally have no tech on them, but their 1000cc comparables have all the cool tech on it. So that's also another thing to be prepared for. In my mind, it's just more stuff that can break, but I get why it's on there. Like having the traction control and the power modes, all that stuff that I wasn't used to having on my 600 was cool to get when I stepped up to the 1000. Now, do I really use them that often? But yeah, if you can check off all those boxes, if you feel at one with your 600, you're comfortable in the twisties, you're comfortable emergency braking, you're comfortable wheeling, you're ready for the tech, ready for the extra added power, ready for the extra added expenses that come with the 1000, then congrats, you're ready, go for it. I support you. I wish you nothing but the best, but the ride safe. That's all I got for you guys. I gotta send y'all off with a quick little pull. FastLaneD is out of here, baby!